From the house of Mouton comes Clerc Milon. That's right, Clerc Milon. And you know, like, unlike, Lafite, where most of the vineyards for Lafite and Duhart and Carrois are all kind of around Lafite, Clerc is kind of its own thing, but I don't think people realize that. Clerc is essentially across the street from Mouton, a little bit up, and it's a different terroir completely than where Mouton and D'Armagnac comes from.
Has its own winery.
Its own place.
Yeah.
So, and it's actually beautiful. It's
gorgeous.
The first time
Same here.
I've been there, COVID kept us from going to Clerc.
Right.
But yeah, so now it's its own place, its own winery, and that's where they did the tasting, because that's where all the non-journalists went.
Yes, yeah. Wow, that stings.
I know, it does. And what are we now? We're kind of journalists. We're talking about these wines.
Sure.
We write about them.
So you doing all this just so we get to go to Mouton next year and taste?
I don't know, maybe. Either way, we got to taste Mouton and it's fantastic. But we're talking about Clerc today. Yeah. So anyway, Clerc blend.
Mostly cab again.
Yep.
Classic Pauillac, 60% or so, right? Chunk of Merlot, little bits and pieces. The takeaway for me from the tasting was that everyone was talking about how great D'Armagnac was. And to me, they almost did like in the wrong order. Clerc's really good.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's like, I think everybody wants D'Armagnac to be great. And when I was tasting the wines, it was like Mouton, Clerc, D'Armagnac. Like, not that D'Armagnac was bad.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There was a greater difference between D'Armagnac and Clerc than I think some of the press is laying it out to be in this vintage.
For sure. I found Clerc to be outrageously good. Yeah. It's a great Clerc Milon.
Big time Clerc.
Yeah, I mean, but what I like about it is the difference, it's really its own thing. I mean, it is its own thing, but I mean, I really saw a difference between like the Mouton stable wines and Clerc Milon. Clerc Milon really stood out to me. And I mean, it's one of those wines that sells on futures, but once it lands, it flies. So, and I think a lot of the international markets buy it from us. So just to let you guys know, it's really big in Thailand. But anyway, that being said, it is a phenomenal Clerc, and I think people will really dig this wine.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Clerc this year, and I certainly wouldn't mind having it in my cellar.
Nope, me neither.